Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to review the ZenWiFi Mini. And I think we have already done a review on this one. Okay, I think this one is actually different. This one has an S at the last part. This is the ASUS XD4s 2-pack system, and this is much cheaper compared to the XD4 as per checking on online stores. And before we begin, I would like to say thanks to our friends at ASUS Philippines for making this review possible. Without further ado, let us unbox the unit. Inside the box, we have some documentation, wall mount screws, a LAN cable, plug adapter for different regions, power bricks, and 2 XD4s unit. For the specification, this is almost the same with the XD4 series, dual band MIMO technology, Wi-Fi 6, gigabit 1 port, which can be used as a LAN port as well, and an additional gigabit LAN port, and a lot more. For the difference, this one have 128 MB of flash, while the XD4 has 256 MB of flash, and this one has mounting holes at the bottom, while the XD4 does not have. With that one, this saves you space, since you can mount it on a wall or on a ceiling. Okay, now for the configuration. First is get one XD4s unit, power it on, and get a LAN cable that is coming from your source of internet. And the other end of this LAN cable is directly connected to my main modem router. In your case, it would be a modem as well or another router. But for us, this is directly connected to my main modem router. And after that one, connect it on the one port, the blue one at the back of this Wi-Fi router or at the bottom. Okay, and after that one, it will detect your internet connection, and let us try to get our mobile phone to configure this unit. And right now, we're going to connect to the default SSID of this XD4s, which is, I'm scanning, ASUS_80 XD4s. Then after that one, it's already connected. We're going back to the application, to the ASUS router application. Okay, this Wi-Fi network has no internet access. Yes, because we haven't actually configured it yet. Then aside from that one, okay, ASUS router welcome, and click on set up a new router. Okay, then we're going to choose the ASUS ZenWiFi series router. Then allow ASUS router to enable Bluetooth. Allow. Okay, it will automatically scan the ASUS Wi-Fi router available on your area. Okay, it was able to detect ZenWiFi XD4s. Click on that one. Then device to use with ASUS router and hit connect. Okay. Okay, after that one, click on get started. Detecting your internet connection status. Okay, after that one, if there is a special requirement from your ISP, enable this one, but for us, none. Just click next. And of course, let us create the SSID of our Wi-Fi network. So maybe let us name this one XD4s new. Okay, and the password will be just, for the sake of testing, 12345678890. Then after that one, maybe let us try to separate the 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency. So we have here XD4s new and XD4s new underscore 5G. It will have the same password for both. Okay, and click next. Your Wi-Fi key is too weak. That is actually a good sign that ASUS is able to know that you are using a weak Wi-Fi password. Then click OK. Then of course, the admin credentials, you need to set it up as well. After you have set up your password and admin username, click on next. Okay, and it seems that our connection was terminated or disconnected because the default SSID was already changed. Let us try to check if the new SSID that we have created is already available for us to connect. So, okay, this one. Okay, as you can see, we have here XD4s new and the new underscore 5G. So let us try to connect to the new, just the new one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and hit connect. And after that one, you'll be able to see here the network optimization, and you just need to wait a couple of minutes for this one to finally optimize, or right now, there is a click button for skip, and let us just click on that one. Okay, and good connection, and hit finish. And right now, we already have our internet connection with this Wi-Fi router. Okay guys, that was an easy configuration. And now, how about if you want to add the other XD4s from your 2-pack or 3-pack system? And of course, we're going to get the power adapter, plug it in. Okay, and that's it. As per checking on our mobile device, the ASUS router application, we only have one ZenWiFi XD4s. This one is the one that we have configured earlier. And we just need to wait for a couple of minutes to configure it to an AI mesh node automatically. Okay guys, after around more than 4 minutes, it actually configured itself. You don't need to do anything with this one. But guys, if you want to add another device or another AI mesh node that is not included in the 2-pack system, you just need to click on the add node regardless of the series. Okay, you can add a top series, another ZenWiFi series, an ROG series, or even the RT series that has AI mesh capability. And that is how easy it is to configure. Okay, that was easy to set up, but how about other things that we can do or configure with the Wi-Fi XD4s? We are going to do a run through by a web management console, but if you are easily bored with the web management console, just jump to this timeline for the actual testing. Okay guys, right now we are on the landing page of the ZenWiFi XD4s, and we have here the network map. Under the network map, you'll be able to see here if you are connected to the internet and the list of clients that are currently connected to your Wi-Fi network. Aside from that one, under the system status, you'll be able to see here the wireless configuration or the wireless information that you have on this Wi-Fi router. For example, you have the SSID for 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency. You can change or update this one as well. And of course, the password and the authentication method. And aside from that one, you have here the status. Under the status, you'll be able to see here the utilization of the hardware. You have here the CPU and RAM and Ethernet ports that are being used. And aside from that one, we are going to the AI mesh. Under the AI mesh, you'll be able to see here the list of mesh nodes that you have configured to your Wi-Fi network. And of course, the client that are currently connected to these mesh or mesh nodes. And you can also change the system settings for this one. For example, the Ethernet backhaul, which would you prefer if you're using an Ethernet backhaul or a wireless backhaul, and roaming blacklist, system reboot, and system reset to factory default. And aside from that one, let's go to the guest network. Under the guest network, you'll be able to create a separate network for your guests. Like for example, you can create one for 2.4 and one for 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency. And of course, when you try to click enable, you will be able to create a dedicated SSID for this one, the access time, bandwidth limiter if you want to limit the bandwidth for this Wi-Fi network. And aside from that one, we have here the AI protection. Under the AI protection, you have here the network protection. By default, it is turned off. You need to enable this one to utilize this feature. And aside from that one, you have here the malicious site blocking and infected device prevention blocking. And right now, we are under the parental control. And guys, for the parental control, this is actually more of a enable time scheduling. I have created a separate video for this one. If you want to utilize this one, go to that video that I have created. And aside from that one, we have the QoS. For the QoS, guys, for this model or series, we only have a traditional QoS, which is just fine if you have a great internet connectivity. So these just have the traditional QoS and the bandwidth limiter if you want to. And of course, you have here the traffic monitor as well. Okay, next one will be wireless. Okay, under the wireless, there are a lot of things that you can do with your Wi-Fi router or the XD4s. And like for example, the Wi-Fi 6 mode can be enabled or disabled as well on this page because there are some devices that are having issues with Wi-Fi 6 router. So if you want, you can disable the Wi-Fi 6 capability of this Wi-Fi router. And you have here the WPS, WDS, and the wireless MAC filter. Guys, for the wireless MAC filter, we have already created a video for this one as well. For this one, it will just allow you to block devices according to their MAC or only allow devices to connect to your Wi-Fi network. So be careful with this one. And next one, we have here the radius setting, professional, and roaming blacklist. Okay guys, for the roaming blacklist, this one is responsible if you don't want a device to jump from one node to another. Next one would be the LAN. Okay, under the LAN, we have here the LAN IP, IP address, and subnet mask. And we also have the DHCP server. On this DHCP server, I think there is something important for this one. And that will be the reservation. Okay, or manually assigned IP around the DHCP list. This is actually helpful if you have a printer or a server or a media server or NAS and anything that you want to have the same IP all over again if they restart or your Wi-Fi router restart. So they will have that reservation IP for that one. So every time you connect to that server or NAS, it will use the same IP address. And aside from that one, you have your route, IPTV, and switch control. Next one would be the WAN. Okay, under the WAN, you have here the information regarding your internet connection. If you want to change on something regarding this one, you can change it as well on here. We have here port trigger, virtual server, port forwarding, DMC, DNS, and NAT pass-through. And aside from that one, we have here the Amazon Alexa, which I rarely use. This is for the voice command of Amazon Alexa, partnering it with your Amazon Alexa. And we have here IPv6, which is currently disabled for me. And we have here the VPN. Okay, under the VPN, you can enable this one. You have here OpenVPN, IPsec VPN, and we have here the VPN client. Okay, under the VPN client, you can create a profile and then select a VPN connection type and enter the VPN authentication information for your VPN provider, then connect. It's easy as that one. And you have your instant guard as well. And next one will be firewall. Okay guys, under firewall, we have here general source IP port range for inbound firewall rules. And we have here the URL filter, network filter, and network service filter. Guys, we have already created a separate video for this one. If you want, you can check them out as well on my channel. But guys, just like to mention that there are instances that the filter is not actually 100% working. I hope there is a firmware upgrade for this one for this to be smooth. But in times, if it's not working, after I applied a settings on the URL or keyword filter, I just restart the Wi-Fi router and sometimes it takes effect and sometimes I don't need to do that as well and it will just be applied on my Wi-Fi network. And next one, we have here the administration. Under the administration, we have here the operation mode. For the operation mode, these only have three, which is a wireless router mode, access point mode, or AI mesh node. It doesn't have any bridge or other configuration as well, like in the other Wi-Fi routers of ASUS. And we have here the system. Okay, the basic configuration that you want, if you want to change the login password, the time zone, and TP server, and everything as well. And we have here the firmware upgrade, and of course, the restore, save, and upload settings. Guys, for me, this is actually useful. Now and then, you try to save the settings that you have. So in case there is a problem with your Wi-Fi router, you can restore it with the same configuration that you have done before. And aside from that one, we have your system lag and network tools. Now, the moment of truth, the actual performance test. And first things first is range test. First is we're going just to use one or single XD4s on the second floor, and we will do a baseline testing, a test on the bedroom, on the ground floor, and of course on the roof deck, and see on how well can we have internet connection using just one XD4s. Okay guys, right now we are standing in front of the XD4s unit and we are connected to the 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency of this Wi-Fi router, and we're going to perform a baseline testing. Okay, and currently we are getting 480 Mbps for download, while for upload it is 202 Mbps. Now let's try to move to the bedroom. Okay guys, right now we are in the bedroom and the door is actually closed, and let's try to check our speed test again. Okay, make sure that we are connected to the 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency and we're still connected to that one. And let's hit test again. Okay, and currently we are able to get 214 Mbps for download, while for upload it is 122 Mbps. And let's try to move to another location. Okay, and currently we are on the ground floor and we are still connected to the 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency, and let's try to perform a speed test on this location. Okay, as you can see, we are having a hard time connecting to the internet. We only have around 2 Mbps for download, and for upload it's also low. And we're going to change our connection to 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency. Okay, and currently we are connected to the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency, and we're going to perform a speed test on this location. Okay, and currently we're able to get 70.5 for download while 46.9 for upload. This is on the ground floor, while the Wi-Fi router or the XD4s is on the second floor. And let's try to move upstairs. Okay, and currently we are on the roof deck and we're going to perform speed test on this location as well. Hit test again. Okay, and currently we are able to get 49.2 for download while 23.8 for upload on the roof deck. That was a great result and already expected because these one are actually identical to the XD4. But guys, just a reminder that my internet is always active with a lot of devices connected, so there are some instances that my speed is not identical for both. There are times that the XD4 have better result while there are instances that the XD4s has better speed test. But nonetheless, both almost performs the same. And for testing the mesh node as expected, if you are using a wireless backhaul on a dual band mesh router, there are speed drops when you are connected on the mesh node. While if you are using an Ethernet cable as a backhaul, there is almost no speed loss and you'll obtain the best speed as possible. And if you don't like an Ethernet cable as a backhaul and you still want to enjoy the full capability of your bandwidth, get a tri-band router from ASUS as well. Now, of course, speed test is nothing if it is not stable. Yes, we can do a ping test on an area and there might be some drop packets, but for me, the best test would always be online games like Mobile Legends, CSGO, and other things as well, because in competitive games, once you have a spike in latency, it will be lag and it might be over, so you might actually lose the game. For the test, I tried a single XD4s located on the second floor in my computer room here. Then I have tried connecting to the 5 GHz Wi-Fi network in the bedroom and it was smooth, single digit latency all the time. And of course, we have tried to go to the ground floor as well, and while connected to the XD4s on the second floor. We are having some spikes on the 5 GHz Wi-Fi network, but that is actually expected since 5 GHz Wi-Fi network has less range compared to the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency. And as what you can remember, we have tested the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency speed test on the ground floor. Then for the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network, even though I am on a Wi-Fi crowded area, I was still able to have a great gaming experience of single digit latency. Okay, now for the verdict and recommendation. This actually performs like the XD4. And you're wondering, should you get the XD4 or the XD4s? The XD4s is cheaper and capable to be wall mounted. One of the issue with this one is it only has 128 MB of flash. And honestly, when I'm trying to access the web management console, it is somehow slow to respond compared to the original XD4. It might not be of a big deal for some because once you have configured the settings, who knows on when you are going to access the web management console again. But for me, it somehow kills the experience because I would play a lot with the settings to fully optimize my Wi-Fi router now and then. And if instantly I want to disable all connection, it will take a few seconds to load compared to the XD4. And I believe that's the only downside with this one, but overall, the performance with range and gaming is great. For my rating, I would give this one 4.5 star because of the web management performance. that is just for me. I really like the web management to perform as well. But hopefully, there is a firmware upgrade to improve that one. And lastly, recommendation between the XD4 and XD4s. It's really hard to decide because the XD4s, yes, is cheaper as per checking on online sites. But for me, if you want to save money, space, and does not care about the web management experience, definitely get the XD4s. But if you are like me who wants to have the best of both network performance and management experience, I would get the XD4. But nonetheless, both actually have the same network performance. I think that will be all. If you have comment and suggestion, comment down below or message me at JK Chavez on FB. Again guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Stay safe and bye!